Now this story sent shockwaves through Chicago, especially, but throughout the world because a lot of people who go visit Chicago and go visit
Mm.
um, around the world, and they got restaurants other places, but Chicago is
It's like the hub.
it's like the hub for this. So we want to say rest in peace to Kristen Pierce-Sherrod. So she died at 55. Her cause of death hasn't been released,
Mm.
but she's known and famous for inheriting her father's restaurant and turning it into a destination staple for the Chicago area. So she
Oh.
inherited Harold's Chicken Shack from her father, who started it
I
in
might
the
have heard of
50s.
that.
Yes, he started it in the 50s. She's been growing it and running it as the CEO. And she tragically died. So they put out a statement saying she
55?
died at 55. That is so young. That is so young. And we're
I think
young.
my
We're
mom is
we're
55.
young. We're in our 30s, and you know how people be joking about being old, but like we're babies. Like
Yeah.
we got 60, 70 more years like to
Mm.
live. That is a lifetime. So
Yeah.
um
I can't
I
imagine.
just really want to take this time to to celebrate her legacy. I've been to Harold's Chicken Shack.
I was
I've
going to
went to
ask you that.
Yeah, I've been to Chicago a couple times. I love Chicago. They got the best downtown in America, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um, and it's just a tragic. Hopefully we learn more on what's going on, but a lot of times that private information stays private.
Yeah.
Um,
It seems like
I hope they have a succession plan in place
yeah.
so nobody comes and buy it up. Hopefully it can stay in the family. She was training and mentoring somebody that can take over the realm. I would say she probably would, considering she inherited from her
I was
dad.
going to say
And it's kind of like, hey, this is what we do in our
hopefully
family.
she have
This is generational
kids,
wealth. Yeah,
nieces, nephews, somebody that she like taught the ropes to, and then
yeah,
it's just awesome to see. We don't always get those stories about like
generational.
fathers giving
Yes,
things because it's always like, oh, I need a son to pass my stuff to, and da 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 da. But like, here's like one of the few stories that we get to see of like, a father daughter relationship
yeah.
that not only was, he so kind of paramount in her life
Yeah.
that he gave her the tools, but then she was able to like use that platform, the shoulders that she stood on, to like make something
Well,
even
well,
greater.
this is the problem in the black community is we don't inherit
Yeah,
assets.
she was able
So
to.
we don't know if she inherited one restaurant or 10, right? I
Right,
don't
right,
know
right.
that.
Hmm.
But she turned it into a global destination. When people come to Chicago,
They want to
people
go
around the
here.
world know about Harold's Chicken. It's people on TikTok all day showing up to Chicago, driving from Detroit, Indiana, St. Louis, all these places just to try the chicken and get that experience while they're in Chicago. And if you look at the stories like Chick-fil-A, they're in the third generation of Chick-fil-A.
Wow,
So, yeah, their
I didn't
company
know
is
that.
worth billions, but their granddad started Chick-fil-A back in the day. He struggled, got it off the ground, had two or three stores. The son turned the two or three stores into like 300-400 stores, and then Dan Cathy, who owns it now and runs it now, is the grandson of the founder. So
Yeah.
now he's a multi-billionaire. It's a global company. Everybody
Right.
know it.
Right.
But Harold's, again, hopefully there's a succession
Yeah, I
plan
was
there.
gonna
So
say.
there's a third or fourth generation that can continue to run that. And we might look at the next billion-dollar brand and say, like, wow, how did they get there? It started with the granddad in the 50s. So when we look at
Yeah.
generational wealth and poverty in the black community, we're starting from zero and sometimes negative. We're
Negative.
starting behind.
Yeah,
If you're
you in
starting,
debt.
if you're starting in at 19 or 20 or 25, you walk into a restaurant that's been running. It got receivables. You got
Yeah.
clients. You already got a system that's running. You just got to repeat it and not
Yeah.
mess it up.
Yeah.
It's easier to build generational wealth and build what you're doing when you're standing on the shoulders of what your
Mm,
father, your grandfather, your uncles, your mother, your cousin, your auntie has built. So, shout
gotcha.
out to her. But like for example, Ebony and Jet is from Chicago.
Hmm.
The, they gave the founder of that, I believe his name is James Johnson.
Of Ebony
Yes, and Jet
and Jet.
and Jet.
Okay.
Let's fact check that for a second.
Okay.
Um, the founder of Ebony.
Chicago seems like a good place to start a
Ebony
business.
Magazine, John H. Johnson. I said
Okay.
James. I'm trying
Okay.
to give myself a little credit. James John. But John H. Johnson, they gave the family. He gave the family and passed the family down Jet Magazine, Ebony Magazine. His daughter got it, and she couldn't manage it, and it basically went bankrupt, and it's not relevant today. But this was one of those staple black-owned media companies
Yeah.
from the early 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Jet was very successful.
Exactly. So there are situations where you can fumble the bag. So I don't like when people like kind of discredit people for not having, or they discredit people for oh, you inherited, you silver spoon, you got it from your dad, because you can easily fumble that bag.
You can, because there was a lot of black publications back in the day, like Vibe. Remember Vibe was a thing. I think Source is now all exclusively digital and stuff like that. Yeah, I think the
World Star was black owned. The guy died. That's why World Star died down. World Star was black owned.
Oh, the guy passed away.
The guy died in like 2016, and they just didn't. They never really took it over. I mean, kept going. It got sold like 3-4 times. Like I don't know who owns it now, but
and that's the thing. So you don't and yeah, we'll see what we definitely need to do, like a follow-up story, because this makes me wonder, like, I'm hoping like she had a will, like I'm hoping that she was able to, like, if anything happens, because I don't know, like my mom is legit like 54 or 50. No, my mom is 55 years old.
Yeah.
And she has some things in place, but I don't know if she has everything in place.
Exactly.
And then you acquire assets as you get older,
Mhm.
so then you got to like add to that. So it's
You got homes, you got
yes,
vehicles, you got
yes. So it's like okay,
jewelry, you got stocks.
hopefully,
bonds.
hopefully, we see like a good, because it's already sad and tragic that she passed.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But hopefully we see that like
a good transition
plan
Yeah.
in place. So
that's what I'm praying for. I should be in Chicago later on this year.
I never been to Chicago.
Chicago is a nice
I
place.
gotta go.
Man. Yeah, you definitely gotta go. I feel like you will love it. It's kind of like the Midwest equivalent of the New York, like yeah.
I gotta go in the
Like
summertime.
it'd be cold in a mother. Oh my god!
They say you gotta go in the summertime, so I'm gonna try to go
Summertime
in like
downtown
July.
Chicago, probably one of the best experiences you're gonna have.
Really?
Just don't turn down the wrong block like I did. Man, we was in a rental. We turned down the wrong block. It was like a big dice game going on in the street. So then we was kind of.
Oh, I'd be so scared.
We were torn in between going through the dice game or like turning around.
Turn around.
We turned around. They like, oh, what's going on? Oh,
nothing.
We like, oh my god, yeah.
So. So you drew more attention to yourself
by turning around, but then you draw a lot of attention by driving through. So it's kind of like. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. But we got up out of there.
I would have just started crying.
Yeah, we made it out alive. Went shopping. Me and Cliff, we just drove there.
Oh, really?
I'm from Detroit, so it's like 3 hours away from Detroit.
Oh, I didn't know it was that close.
Yes, Chicago is like 3 hours from Detroit. But Detroit people usually don't get out of their hood. They don't get out of the city.
Don't be talking about your people like that.
I mean, look, all my people that's from Detroit that's watching this, they know, like, people don't cross 8 Mile. You know the movie 8 Mile with Eminem?
I haven't seen the whole thing.
People literally don't cross 8 Mile because they tags be bold, they license suspended, and then like the police over there operate different than the Detroit police. Kind of, it's so much shit that go on in Detroit that if you just a good citizen.
Yeah.
They're not really worried about, a suspended license.
That's kind of New York too. I remember somebody stole my radio out of my car and I called the cops and they never showed up.
Yeah, man, we trying to.
You just got for a radio. You lucky to be alive.
You all right? All right, move on.